The Milwaukee Brewers are at a point where they have so much terrific pitching right now. Maybe they don't know what to do with it. Are they going to go to a six-man? Is there going to be maybe a trade for a position player? Talk about all that coming up next in this edition of Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
A lot of people, when the Brewers are losing or somebody might be struggling pitching-wise, I get DMs or I'll get messages or I'll see Twitter. When is the Miz? When is Jacob Misiorowski going to be called up? They see him throw 103 miles an hour. You get anywhere from 7 to 10 strikeouts a game and just pitching fantastic down there at Nashville. When is he going to get called up? Well, he's here right now. The Brewers have added to their strength, their pitching, and what are they going to do with it all? Hey, everybody, Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, proud host of Locked On Brewers here in the third year as the Brewers get the win on Tuesday night to even up that series with the Atlanta Braves, and they did it with pitching as well. Quinn Priester, we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. But the news of the day, calling up Jacob Misiorowski, the hardest thrower in all of baseball. He's reached 103 miles. His fastball average is right around 98. He's got a great slider as well. And, just having an incredible year. Every step along the way, he has been fantastic. There's nowhere for him to go next. So he's going to be in the parent club. He's overmatching people down at AAA. And the Brewers have called him up. I was a little surprised at this, that they made this move. A little surprised. And I wonder if something's in the works. He will pitch Thursday against St. Louis. The Brewers believe he's going to be a starter. There's been a long time question whether Miserowski is going to be a starter or you're going to have 103 coming out of the bullpen. Well, it sounds like he's going to be a starter, and I'm okay with that. But, man, starting rotation, I mean, look at all these starting pitchers. I mean, this is such a great problem to have. There are teams around baseball who would love to have this issue. Just love to have this issue, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong adding to a strength. The Miz, okay, Jacob Misiorowski, Peralta, Savale, Patrick, Priester, and Quintana. Right now, you're messing with a six-man rotation with those six guys out there. Given all of these guys are healthy, you got six guys in that rotation. Quintana was supposed to start Thursday. Quintana, Priester, Patrick Savale, and Miserowski. In addition, you got Woodruff coming off the injured list anytime soon. He's on this 2-week plan. Now you got Cortez on the 60-day, and I doubt if Cortez, my personal opinion is I don't think Cortez is ever going to pitch again for the Brewers. And then, of course, you have Gasser, who's coming back from Tommy John, and whenever that happens, that happens. But, God, we don't even talk about Gasser anymore. And if we didn't have all this great pitching, we'd be like, boy, when is Robert Gasser going to be joining this team? Well, who knows? Let him have all the time he wants to get himself right. So all this pitching, they have six healthy starters in addition to Woodruff, and then Cortez and Gasser on the 60-day. That's in addition to Logan Henderson. In addition to Logan Henderson and Tobias Myers. Tobias Myers, the Brewers pitcher of the year last year, is at AAA. You know, there's several rosters out there. He could be a starter in that rotation right now. And it sounds like he's not due to come up anytime soon. And Logan Henderson. So Henderson, Myers, but they don't have the stuff. They don't have the stuff near the stuff the Miz has. And that's why Miserowski is on this roster. And he got called up. But look at all these guys. So do you roll the dice and maybe trade one of these starters? Do you trade? Well, Quintana, I don't know if you traded Quintana, all right, a team that's not a contender doesn't want Quintana, right? I mean, if you're going to trade, even in a package deal, a team that's out of the pennant race or, everybody's technically in, even Colorado, I think, but nobody's trading for Quintana, except for a contender if they need one. The guy who would have value is Savale. Because you're not trading Patrick, you're not trading Priester, obviously, you just got him. And Peralta obviously would have the most trade value. I had a writer come up to me in the press box today, stop by and says, man, would you think about trading Freddy Peralta? I mean, he'd give you the most haul back. Man, I would just hate to do that. I would just hate to trade Freddy, get some good things back. But Peralta, like Willie Adames was last year, Peralta is one of the heart and souls of this team. Now, you're eventually going to lose him, right? I mean, you might have to trade him in the offseason. But right now, when you got the rest of the season and next year under contract, he's under contract. He's going to make $8 million next year. Now, I did a podcast about a month ago when might have been Jeff Passan talked about, well, the players who are going to be out there, Freddy Peralta. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. Brewers are still in the pennant race. There's no way I'm trading Peralta. I was thinking about trading Peralta because of being a seller. And that's what I believe Passan was talking about. Yeah, he certainly was talking about the Brewers being a seller. And we're not even thinking about that. We're in the pennant race here. All right, we're not selling. We're over the 500 mark. We're 5.5 behind the Cubs, 2.5 within the wild card, and very much alive in a lot of different things. But trading Peralta to be a seller, no, but trading Peralta to get some valuable pieces back. Would you consider that? Boy, he's been just so good. Again, his downside is, well, he went 6 innings last time, but he ran out of gas and he couldn't pitch the 7th inning. But he's been very good this year. We know that. Peralta has been very good. The people I talk to are afraid of trading Peralta because if, the Josh Hader thing from a few years ago, when the Brewers traded Hader back in 2022, they traded him when they were still in the wild card chase, and it didn't go over well. They traded him to San Diego, and nobody was happy with that move. In fact, Davis Stearns, I think, regretted the move. I think he publicly regretted the move when he was in New York, talked about regretting making that move. So with Peralta, if the Brewers made that move and they traded Peralta and the bottom fell out of this team, Matt Arnold would take the same type of heat that David Stearns took. You think about it, it would be a bold move. But man, I don't know if you could do it. But as it is, what do you do with all 6 of these guys in this rotation? What are you going to do with Woodruff when he gets back? Okay. How about Gasser if he returns later on this summer? Are you going to keep Logan Henderson and Tobias Myers down in the minors? I don't know. If you're not going to trade Peralta, which I'm cautioning on the side of no, Savale, he's been really good, but they need some offensive help. Even on Tuesday night. Well, Monday night was terrible too, but Tuesday night, left runners on base again, got a couple of home runs, Churio and Jake Bauers. But, man, offense is a problem. Would you trade one of your pitchers? Maybe not Peralta, but would you trade one of those guys? Like Savale, not Patrick, but Savale. Would you trade him? He's got some value out there, right? Pitching really well. But again, if he's pitching really well, wouldn't you want him? But you need help on offense. You got to score to win. And I think that's been the detriment of the Milwaukee Brewers in the postseason the last several years, right? They get to the postseason and it's dreadful. The way the offense is right now, it's like the worst I've seen. I've seen a lot of bad offenses with the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers used to be, through many years, offenses that were great, but the pitching has stunk. The wealth of pitching they have right now, I've never seen it this good. I mean, you may not have an ace of, like a Chris Sale type, even though Peralta's pitching like one. Miz maybe could be, but you got a lot of guys who are pitching well. but you got so many starters. God, the pitching is just great every night. It is. I know that on Monday night, the bullpen and all that gave up 3 home runs. But even out of the bullpen today, Abner Uribe, wow. That guy, he's got closer stuff. So again, that's something to think about. But I'm thinking there's got to be some reason why they brought Miz up. I mean, he's done all he could do at AAA. But then again, he got Logan Henderson, who's down there, who looked great on the major league level. By bringing up the Miz a month late, it saved a year on arbitration there, right? As Murph said, business plays a part in this, and it certainly does. All right, we come back. We'll look at Quinn Priester's outing last night. Terrific again. Uribe. And Jake Bauers. Did Jake Bauers, who homered, start getting everyday looks in that lineup? We're coming right back after this. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Monarch Money, great sponsor here on Locked On Brewers. Man, where are you spending all your money these days? Gas? Are you spending it? Well, we need gas, but if you're spending, especially those guys out there who commute and are on the road and sales and all that, are you spending it on going out to eat? Are you spending it online? Well, Monarch Money, that's where they come in. They're your personal CFO. They're going to tell you everything you need. They're your complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, all your investments, all the spending in one place. So just stop managing your money and start building wealth, right? I mean, you got to start managing your money, but you want to start building wealth. You don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. You want to find where all your money's being spent, and you can do that with Monarch Money. And when you use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com, you're going to get 50% off that first year. So you're going to save with that as well. I'm telling you, you can track your accounts, your investments, your spending all in one place. monarchmoney.com, 50% off your first year. monarchmoney.com, like the butterfly, the monarch, monarchmoney.com. Locked On MLB for half off your first year with Monarch Money. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. By the way, thank you all for listening tonight. And you can get our podcast if you're watching us on YouTube. We're on all the audio platforms out there: Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download your audio podcast. We're the #1 Brewers podcast on the internet because of you, great Brewer fans out there downloading us every day, whether you're driving around in the car, getting up and doing the 9-to-5 job, or going out there and making our country turn, doing the real labor in this world. Man, I appreciate it. I hear from all walks of life on this podcast, and I really appreciate it. Again, you can get us on all the audio platforms out there. And if you're listening to us on the audio platform, please go to YouTube, search Locked On Brewers on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you're going to come right into our Locked On Brewers television studio here. And cool little studio. It's a little messy right now. Got my Laconia stuff up there. I'm looking forward to the Laconia in the state softball tournament. Congratulations out to them once again for making it the state. You're going to do the play-by-play coming up Friday from in Madison. But please go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That alerts you every time we drop an episode on Locked On Brewers. And please go to our growing Twitter. Over 10,000 people on Twitter. I mean, that's not, compared to some people out there who got millions. I got 10,000. But please add to it. Anytime you want to DM me or message me or whatever, hit me up at Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. Even Facebook friend me as well. Some of you guys had, I threw that out there. Some of you guys have Facebook friend me. Go ahead, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. And if you want to message me there, feel free. Always willing to talk to the great Brewers fans out there. How about that? The Brewers did bounce back and got a win. As I mentioned earlier, Chourio homered, and so did Jake Bauers. Bauers crushed one to straightaway center field, 423 feet. It didn't get robbed like it did in what happened a week ago in Cincinnati. There was no way nobody was going to get up there. Not even Andre the Giant would have robbed that home run. And home run, made it 3-1, and the Brewers went on to the 4-1 win. They stranded the bases loaded, though, later on in the game. But still, I'll get it. I'll take it. I'll take the win, bouncing back, and getting the W. And how about Quinn Priester and what he did out there? Quinn Priester was just fantastic. 7 strikeouts over 6 innings. His ERA is 3.65, and he's 4-2. Just pouring in the pitches there, working hard out there, and giving us quality starts. Remember, early on, especially me, I was like, man, what's the deal? He's come in, and I do think that they overpaid for him. I'll always stick to that. For what they paid for him, giving up a draft choice, a player to be named later, and their hot young 17, 18-year-old prospect. But still, Quinn Priester is going to be on this roster. And in the past couple of games, they've tag teamed him with DL Hall, but DL Hall pitched his 3 innings on Monday night. But Quinn Priester didn't need it, man. 6 innings. And then Uribe came in, went 2 innings, and he has not been scored on in 20 of the last 21 appearances. Has not been scored on 20 of his last 21 outings. In fact, going the 2 innings that he did on Tuesday night, that's the first time he's done that since 2023. Went out there, said he feels great. Confidence is growing, and very cool for Uribe. I still think he's the closer of the future someday. And McGill, 1-2-3 in the 9th inning with a 4-1 lead. McGill slammed the door with no threats and got the job done. So the Brewers get the win. And Jake Bauers, I mentioned after the game on my short little post-game short video I did, I said, Bauers, maybe we should start thinking about playing this guy every day. And I'm talking, I know he's not great defensively out in left field, but he adds some sock to the lineup. I said it yesterday's podcast. This Brewers team needs some sock in this lineup. They need some punch in the middle part of that lineup. And Bauers batted in a cleanup spot on Tuesday night. Maybe we got to think about playing Bauers every day, even against lefties. Get him out there. 434 feet on the home run. I think I said 423 or 413. It was 434 feet on that home run, straightaway center field. But Bauers or Isaac out there, I would take Bauers. I like Bauers. The way he's, again, I like the way he's playing this year. I like the way he's hitting. He's hitting big home runs. Nearly hit that one in Cincinnati last week. I'm thinking maybe Jake Bauers should be playing every day. Now, honestly, I wish I had better choices. I could go around the league, but as far as on this 40-man roster, maybe Jake Bauers should be in that everyday lineup and playing left field, right? That's my thought on that. Jake Bauers, let's get that guy maybe in the everyday lineup. Brewers did send down Grant Anderson. They sent him down 42 pitches on Monday night, gave a home run ball. Murph insists that Grant Anderson is back. He said he's part of this team. Anderson is going to be back. So they sent him down. The Brewers do this, that. If somebody gets a lot of work in, they cleared the way for Easton McGee. He comes back up for a second time. But the Brewers will be doing this all season long, as you know, sending guys down, bringing them back. Bullpen guys. Starters, Logan Henderson, Tobias Myers, who knows when they'll be back. But as we mentioned earlier, there's a 6-man rotation right now. Will the Brewers go with that? We'll see. All right. When we come back, we'll look ahead to Wednesday's game. It's an afternoon game, and it's a 1:05 start for the Milwaukee Brewers. Their first 1:05 start of the season. First one. They've had noon starts, weekday afternoon, the getaway day game. They've played them all at 12, but once we get to June, we get to the 1 o'clock starts, which I like better. I like those 1 o'clock starts. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. We're coming right back. I was talking about you guys out there who get the job done every day. You guys who get your hands dirty every day. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, electrical work, Supply House is where you need to go. The reliable place to order products online. Easy to use website. Tons of helpful resources, the latest product information, complete inventory at Supply House. Over 200,000 parts, over 400 of the top brands. You'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. And you need to join their free Trade Master program. All you trade pros out there, you can get exclusive perks, a dedicated phone line. You're going to talk to a live person, free shipping, discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals already taking advantage, and you haven't yet. You need to do it like a couple of guys I turned on to it in my neighborhood. Join the Trade Master program today, supplyhouse.com/TM, and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, electrical supplies, just a few clicks. Use the promo code SH5, 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Down the stretch we come here on Locked On Brewers. Quick turnaround at the game tonight. Covered the game, walked out of there, had to get home to my podcast because the getaway day, man, it's a fast one. That afternoon game comes up early tomorrow, and that 1:10 start, and the Brewers will be looking to take the rubber game of the series. You know, the Atlanta Braves, that is a good offense. I don't know why they struggle, but Quinn Priester quieted them quite efficiently. There were a couple of hard hit balls. I had a chance to talk to Brian Snitker, the manager of the Braves, who reports are he might not be back on the team, might be managing the team next year when his contract expires, but he's always been a nice guy. And he's won a World Series there. But his team is, up and down that lineup, there's some guys who could hit on that team. It's amazing. They're 10 games under the 500 mark. Braves are a darn good team. So Brewers, after losing Monday, you kind of thought when the Braves hit the 3 home runs Monday, how's Tuesday going to look? Well, Priester pretty much took care of that. The Cubs did win to stay 5.5 ahead of the Brewers. Cubs, man, Phillies in that game, they're up 5-4. I was watching it in the press box. I had my little iPad there, so I was watching the game. And then the Cubs eventually, the Phillies had a 4-3 lead, and the Cubs turned it around, took a 5-4 lead, and then added some runs late and ended up winning 8-4. So the Cubs got a 5-game lead on St. Louis. The Cardinals, who are here Thursday, have lost, I want to say, 4 in a row. The Cardinals are struggling a little bit. So another team that could be struggling coming into Anfield on Thursday when they make their first appearance. Here we are in June, and the Brewers have not faced the Cardinals at home this year, faced them earlier this year at Busch Stadium. I just want to look this up real quick. Yeah, the Cardinals have lost 3 in a row. And they're taking on a Toronto team at home. Toronto's playing better as of late as well. And the Brewers 5.5 out. Watch out for the Reds. The Reds have won 5 in a row now. They're over the 500 mark, 35-33. 4 teams over the 500 mark in this division. The Cubs, St. Louis 5 over, Brewers 4 over, Cincinnati now 2 over. They're 6.5 back with their 5-game winning streak. And of course, Pittsburgh at 14 under, bringing up the rear in this division. Pitchers for coming up on Wednesday, Spencer Schwallenbach. Really good pitcher, this kid. 4-4, a 3.24 earned run average. Chad Patrick makes a start for Milwaukee. Chad Patrick. Yeah, I look at the Braves and I'm like, man, why are they struggling so much? And one more thing. How are the Braves? Well, Vegas thinks the Braves are better than the Brewers, even though the Braves are 10 under. They obviously think the Braves are better than what they're showing. The Braves have been favored in every game in this series. The Braves were favored like a 130 favorite on Tuesday night. And I looked at the odds for tomorrow. The Braves are minus 140 against the Brewers, against Patrick. Brewers are home on, that's odd. Brewers 4 games over the 500 mark, facing a team that's 10 under, at home nonetheless. And the Brewers are an underdog. Atlanta's minus 140. That is very odd. You don't see that too often. A team 10 games under the 500 mark coming into Milwaukee against the winning Brewers team and being not even a slight favorite, a 140 favorite. I could see with Sale on Monday. He was like a 165, 170 favorite. I could see with that, but even that was a little high, even though he won the game. That's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Brewers. Hey, everybody. Again, get our podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple. We're on all the audio platforms out there. And, of course, our growing YouTube page. Search Locked On Brewers. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. That alerts you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. We'll talk to you a little bit later on Wednesday night with the next edition of Locked On Brewers. See you then, everybody. This is Chuck Freeman. Follow me on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, Freimund. Have yourself a great Wednesday, everybody.